I don't know who you can lose to, but you can't lose to Northern Illinois. You can't do it.
On today's Odd Coaches podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis discuss week 1 of the college football season, as well as providing predictions for week 2. Welcome to today's show. Dr. Keith Adams is the president of the CKA Save Project, a nonprofit organization designed to assist student athletes and the people who work with them through educational and professional development. He is a career academic and athletic leader with close to 30 years of experience on the high school and college levels. He has won numerous championships and epitomizes professionalism. Coach Mike Franchise Francis is one of the most successful football and basketball coaches in the state of Maryland. He too is a career academic and athletic leader with close to 30 years of experience on the high school and college level and is self-admittedly a little rough around the edges. Both men have mentored countless student athletes, teachers, and coaches using their unique methods and approaches to leadership. Both men also share a unique and special friendship that was cultivated often through their unique perspective of life and leadership. Dr. Adams through his extensive educational background and Coach Francis through his life experiences. Can these two men share a podcast without driving each other crazy? Welcome to the Odd Coaches podcast.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches podcast. My name is Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, my Eric Rowan, to my Luke Harper, the late great Luke Harper, Coach Mike Francis, and Franchise. We are here. It is college football week 1. We're going to wrap this thing up, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. How are you feeling today, my friend?
I'm feeling well. I'm glad to be here. It's nothing like that day after college football, that first weekend. That's great.
And for our fans of the show, this is our first college football wrap-up week, and we kind of give ourselves creative freedom. So I have no idea what direction my partner's going in. So this ought to be fun because he has no idea of what direction I'm going in. So, Coach, what are your initial thoughts from week 1? I have no idea. Talk to me. What were you thinking?
Oh, shucks. You know that, oh, shucks. I couldn't wait to get it out. We partied last night. Randy Edsel lost and Dabo Sweeney lost. We partied last night. Loxley won. They beat West Virginia. Yes, sir. So University of Maryland put one off in the border war. It was great to see. I do want to talk about a couple things we need to look at for the rest of the year. Kansas really struggled. Okay, you're not supposed to struggle against a team like that. Georgia Tech. Did you see the Georgia Tech score?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You saw the Georgia Tech score. They lost to Northern Illinois. You can't lose it. What we say? You can't lose to Northern Illinois.
You can't lose there. I don't know who you can lose to, but you can't lose to Northern Illinois. You can't do it.
No. And then UCLA. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Which is the perfect segue to my initial thoughts. Thank you for that, Coach. UCLA beat LSU. Now, it is no secret that I am not the strongest advocate of the Pac-12. But Ed Orgeron, there is a reason why it took him a minute and a half to get a gig. And he had lightning in a bottle. And now that it's his players, his time, his recruitment, the last few years haven't gone very well. And that's the SEC. So I hope this is not something for things to come, because my initial thoughts were outside of UCLA, I was pretty right about the Pac-12.
Yes, you were.
You can't lose to Montana. Montana?
No.
Joe Montana maybe, but not Montana Grizzlies. Okay? I think Washington State lost to somebody they ain't had no business losing to. I mean, goodness gracious. And when we get to next week's games, yeah, we're going to see the Pac-12 on full display. And I got to say, Georgia brought the heat. Georgia brought the smoke. They held Clemson's a quality team. Okay. Yes. I'm not the biggest Dabo fan, but he's got horses out there, as we like to say. And he held those horses down. And Georgia has had a lot of success against Clemson. So my initial thoughts are Alabama and Georgia, let's roll. And Pac-12, you can't lose these type of games and then have some alliance system or something. And this is it's time to go. Any other thoughts before we move on to our next segment after a short break?
Nevada beating California. How about that one?
Oh, my goodness.
How about that one? Let's go over that one. Let's talk about that one briefly. No, let's not talk about it, but these are just things I got to look at, games I got to look at and say, oh, this season's in trouble or somebody's in trouble. Like, I can't believe it. We will revisit that Alabama-Miami. We had to talk about that before, remember?
Yes,
when I told you this ain't even going to be close. Not even close. And it wasn't.
Yes, and me not listening to you cost me a couple of bucks. And we'll be right back after this short break. But it's no issue because it's strictly for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
The vision of the CKA SAVE project is to use the combination of academics and athletics as a catalyst to lifelong success. Thus, the CKA SAVE project works to improve student-athlete academic and athletic performance by assisting student-athletes with transitional and transferable skills such as time management and organizational skills, along with the ability to self-advocate to help improve performance. However, we cannot do our work without the help of supporters like you. Consider donating to the CKA SAVE project. We accept tax-deductible contributions in a number of ways, including Venmo and Cash App at CKA SAVE project, or directly at the main page of our website, www.ckasaveproject.org. Simply click the donate button. We thank you in advance for your continued support.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast as we wrap up college football week 1. And Coach Francis, segment 2, what were your second tier stories? What continued to keep you occupied and engaged?
Michigan State. Michigan State didn't look bad, man. They didn't look bad at all. And you know who else? Army.
Well, when you said Michigan State, it made me think of Illinois, and what a difference a week makes. You go beat Nebraska, and then you go take an L week 2 against a team you can't lose to. But I definitely want to allow you the opportunity to share your thoughts on that machine, Alabama, because the bet that we always make, strictly for entertainment purposes only, no matter what, is Alabama in the points for the first half.
Yes.
That is like an automatic gambling bet if you're entertaining, not doing it to save your mortgage or something like that. And the spread was Miami 19.5. And I'm thinking on the back end, Alabama's going to pull the starters and Miami is going to chug in some points and keep it under 20. That's what I thought. Man, was I wrong. Go ahead and light me up, Coach.
Man, it was this week 1, they ain't played in a while. You know, that foot wasn't coming off the gas. We got to get these dudes out here, but you got to satisfy. You know what? You got to feed the lions or they eat you. You know that, right?
Well, they did. And speaking of getting eaten up, during our ACC preview edition, I looked on the cover of Athlon Sports, our good friends who don't know us, and they had this quarterback on the cover. From the University of North Carolina, Sam somebody, what's his name, Coach? Help me out.
I can't remember.
And then North Carolina goes out and lays an egg, ranked 10th in the nation. And Coach Adams, this is why it's strictly for entertainment purposes only. I'm sitting here believing in this mess, and they go and get beat. You know, and one thing I do want to say, although I'm scared of mass mandates and everything that was out there, I saw Virginia Tech fans hit the inner Sandman, and I saw the Wisconsin fans do the jump around.
Oh, my God.
Man, there's nothing like the energy of college kids.
Yes.
Full of false pride and courage, getting excited about it. But, yeah, the North Carolina loss, That was in my second tier thoughts and second tier stories. What are you thinking about, sir?
Second tier, also a shout out Coach Franklin, Penn State. Glad to see them. See him get a W against Wisconsin. It's a great guy, man. It's a
tough
great
defense.
Man. Oh yeah,
get a kicker, man. That guy almost cost you a lot. And not only is he the kicker, he's the punter. So, man,
I'd love to have an off-cuff conversation with him about that because he don't hold punches a lot, but behind the doors, those conversations are something else. He's a really, really smart dude, really good dude. They're gonna be okay, I think, especially beating Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a tough, physical, tough matchup. It is one of the matchups that I took a look at. That I actually watched. And, if I'm watching it, I'm very interested in the outcome. And I was a little animated when the kicker missed from like the 14-yard line. Mm-hmm. So you kind of know what direction I was going in. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, man, good win for Penn State to come out and get that win. And what's up with Iowa and Iowa State? They didn't look very good, and neither did Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma, that was my next statement. You took the words right out of my mouth. You Oklahoma, you can't give up that many points. You Oklahoma. You give Tulane 35 points? You can't give up 35 points at Tulane. You're supposed to be one of the top 10 teams in the country. I don't care who you are. Is Tulane that good? Think about
it. First of all, the fact that they played the game having to deal with everything they dealt with. And shout out to Oklahoma. They actually painted the Tulane logo on their field at some points. Again, great sportsmanship. We do appreciate things like that. But with that said, hey, man, you're trying to play for a natty. You can't be hanging around with Tulane. And I'm going to do my Tom Dickberg. Can't be hanging around. Don't let them hang around. Because they might beat you. And they almost did, man. Any final thoughts before we preview week 2, sir?
That's it. There's a lot of schools that scored a lot of points. I didn't expect the offense to be that good. So I think we're in for a great college season, man. I think Hawaii put up 49 points. Like, this is –
Yeah, now they want to put up points.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think we're closing out. We're in for a great college season. I can't wait.
All right. We'll be right back after this short break.
Dr. Keith Adams, president of the CKA Save Project, is releasing a book this fall called Finding the Balance: My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. The goal of this book is to give greater insight into student-athlete motivation to improve student-athlete academic and athletic success through the lens of Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic journey, from being an underperforming student-athlete to an academic and athletic leader. This book is also designed to be a guide for student-athletes, parents, teachers, coaches, administrators, and anyone else who has a passion to help student-athletes succeed academically and athletically. You can pre-order your copy of the book directly from our website at www.ckasaveproject.org. This book is scheduled for release in the fall of 2021.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. And in our final segment, we're going to give you previews for week 2. So here is Dr. Adams' Odd Coaches Podcast Top 5. And I will let Coach Franchise react to it. I have Alabama at number 1. I got Georgia at number 2, and it's going to be hard pressed to take those 2 away from me. Ohio State 3. Oklahoma 4, and Clemson 5. Clemson's going to run through the ACC. Georgia's going to lose to somebody. Clemson's going to win the ACC championship, and Georgia's going to say, but we beat them, and that's going to be fun. And believe it or not, I have UCLA on the outside looking in because, hey, somebody from the West Coast has to do something. And on a serious note, Cincinnati, they look pretty good, Coach. So what do you think about the top 5, and what adjustments would you make? Because now we're off Athlon, and it's all us, buddy.
I think 1 and 2 are very good. I still don't think 3 is. I mean, I'm serious. It's going to take a lot for me with Ohio State and Michigan, man. I just the hype is just always there, and I just can't get behind it. I need, proof in the pudding to me. I always tell the kids I'm from Missouri. That's a show me state. Don't tell me. You know what I mean? Show me. So Clemson, yeah, they still top 5. I mean, it was a good game. It was a damn good game. They're not going to lose the rest of the year. So they'll end up 11-1, 10-1, getting into the getting into the playoffs. And then it's way too early for me to be throwing UCLA or Cincinnati up in there, even as outside looking in.
Chip Kelly's 2-0. He's going to be on TV all week until they lose. So, at least I have somebody west of the Mississippi. I'll always try to have somebody just for our West Coast viewers who may or may not like us. But with that, the rest of this segment is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Last week, I went 2-2 with my picks. And for those who follow us on Twitter, early Saturday afternoon for college and early Sunday afternoon for pros, I post 4 games that I'm particularly interested in, strictly for entertainment purposes. I had the Maryland Terps +3, and they won. I had Miami plus 19.5. That's 20 points. And they couldn't keep it within 20. I did have the Georgia Bulldogs -4, and they took care of business against Clemson. And the choking dogs of Louisiana State University let me down against UCLA, and the spread was -2.5. It was a field goal. So last week I went 2-2, which is 50%. Combining week 0, I am currently 3-5, which is 37%, and my personal goal is 53%. So with that said, games of the week for week 2.
Yes.
Coastal Carolina over Kansas. We have no spreads yet because of at taping time they were not released, so I'm just giving you the money line. Michigan over Washington. If you listen to our preview editions, I'm all on this game. Come on, Michigan. You can do it. I have Iowa State over Iowa. Good friend of mine, Kevin Monroe, ran track, and I think he played baseball too for Iowa State over Iowa. And the Ohio State University over Oregon, especially due to the injury of their top defensive player, who we hope it's just a flesh wound, so to speak. But I'm not playing if I'm him because I've got too much to lose. And no, thank you. Coach, any thoughts on my picks or any games you're currently thinking about for week 2?
I'm strong with you on that Coastal Carolina over Kansas. I think that's going to be nice. That second game, Michigan, Washington, I don't even want to talk about it. I just can't do it, man. Although they too flaky for me. And that's Ohio State and Oregon again. That's it. You know, I am about Michigan and Ohio State. I'd have to find another game to bet on. So I just them two. I just throw them out. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. But Iowa State and Iowa. What's the line? No line yet.
No line yet. Again, fans, strictly for entertainment purposes only. But I'm going straight picks on this, just for our fans who actually care about the lighter side of sports betting. But again, it was a great atmosphere. My final thoughts of the week, it was good to get back out there, competitive matchups. I do not feel bad for teams who have to miss games because players and coaches don't do the vaccination.
Exactly.
We are very big on take care of yourself. It
First.
is a health and safety issue. So please, you don't know what's in that hot dog you ate. So now why are we all sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, as I see people drinking Arizona iced tea? I don't think you were in the factory, but you're guzzling that down, but yet you won't take care of something. And football is the biggest team. But I'm good. Whatever, man. Coach, any final thoughts before I let you go?
I have no, I have no sympathy for programs who get in trouble because the coach get COVID and the players don't because of your all shucks moments or whatever it is. And take care of you, take care of your family. You have responsibility to yourself first, and then the rest of your team. I mean, it's simple. I think that's the biggest thing going into this. How many teams will still be able to last and go through and finish and don't have outbreaks and don't make changes to schedules. And, you know, it's going to be something to watch.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. You can follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.